Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Dyandra Goesvi, and today I will talk about socio-cultural perspectives on second language learning. So, in the socio-cultural view of second language learning, as explained by Michelle and Miles, 2004, so the process of learning a language is seen as something that happens through social interaction and cultural context. So this approach is basically who argued that language learning is not just about the individual brain working on its own, but about collaborating with others and engaging with the culture where the language is spoken. So here is the key ideas of the socio-cultural perspective on SLA. The first one is about social interaction. Central to socio-cultural theory is the idea that we learn through meaningful interaction with others. This can include working together with classmates, having conversations with teachers, or being part of a community. Vygotsky believed that language is a tool for communication, and learners build their understanding by connecting with people who know more than they do, such as teachers or peers. For example, in the classroom, the teacher leads a discussion. As students express their thoughts, they practice using new vocabulary and grammar structures in natural conversation. This kind of interaction not only helps improve their language skills, but also boosts their confidence in speaking. The second one is about mediation. Mediation refers to how we use language to make sense of the world and communicate with others. This isn't just about talking. It includes body language, gestures, and other ways we express ourselves. The idea here is that language helps us think and solve problems, and by understand and share their thoughts. Example, to help students understand a complex word like ocean, the teachers uses visual aids like pictures of the ocean and gestures to demonstrate the movement of waves. This form of mediation using images and body language helps students grasp the meaning of the word more effectively than if the teacher just explained it verbally. Number three is about zone of proximal development, or we call it ZPD. Vygotsky's concept of the zone of proximal development is key to understanding how learners progress. It is the space between what learners can do on their own and what they can do with help. In language learning, this means that students improve when they work on tasks that challenge them, but are still within reach with guidance from others, like teachers or fellow students. For example, a student like me who can write simple sentences is paired with a more advanced peer. The peer guides them to form more complex sentences. By receiving this support, the student is able to learn new language structures that are just beyond their current ability, leading to improved writing skills. Number four is about scaffolding. Scaffolding is a support provided to learners to help them complete tasks they might not be able to do on their own. This can involve giving hints, asking questions to guide thinking, or showing examples of how to use the language. Over time, as learners become more skilled, the support is gradually reduced, helping them become more independent. For example, in the group project, the teacher first provides a detailed outline to help students organize their work. As the project progresses, the teacher gradually reduces their level of support, encouraging students to take more responsibility. This gradual release of help helps students build independence in both language use and project management. Number five is about cultural context. Language is not about words and grammar. It is deeply connected to culture. The socio-cultural approach highlights that learning a language means understanding the values, norms, and everyday practices of the culture it belongs to. By engaging with real-world materials and context, learners can better understand how the language works in practice. For example, a language class covers cultural topics such as traditional greetings, holiday customs, and how to address people in various social situations. This cultural context helps students understand how language is used in everyday life, making their learning experience more relevant and complete. So what this means for teaching? So the socio-cultural approach has important ideas for how language should be taught. The first, number one is about collaborative learning. Classrooms should encourage students to work together, talk to each other, and give feedback. This helps students learn from each other and practice the language in real social ways. Number two, contextualized instruction, cultural content, and authentic materials. This makes learning more interesting and shows students how the language is used in the world outside the classroom. Number three is role of the teacher. In this approach, teachers are more like guides than traditional lecturers. They create an environment where students feel comfortable making mistakes and taking risks with the language. The teacher's job is to support and encourage students through the learning process. So, as the Michelle and Miles explained, so it is like emphasize that the socio-cultural perspective offers a complete way of understanding second language learning. By focusing on the social side of learning, the role of interaction, and the cultural context, this approach helps teachers create more effective and engaging language lessons that promote deeper understanding and stronger for me. Thank you.